Strange Band, The Best of Family, a discount double CD I bought in Sainsbury's. If you were interested in rock music in the early 70s, the first thing you had to do was acquire a taste for unconventional singing voices. In the 60s, apart from Dylan's Wine, most singers sang as singers were expected to sing. But it started to change in the late 60s, and we had the screeching of Robert Plant, Steve Marriott, Noddy Holder and Ozzy Osbourne, the sore throat rasp of Rod Stewart and Joe Cocker, the bored drone of Lou Reed, the deep growl of Captain Beefheart. It was all less Graham Nash and more Neil Young. However, it was the voice of Roger Chapman, the Family singer, that I found the hardest to accept. A voice that sounded like a machine, like it had been processed through some sort of metallic tremolo effect. I first became aware of Family when their song In My Own Time got played on Wonderful Radio 1. It got into the charts. It is a very strange song, almost scary. It has Roger Chapman warbling noises over the riff that sound like they come from a horror film soundtrack. I'm not sure I liked it, but I was drawn to it. Family were a hard band to categorise, but that was back when we did not have the new this or the new that, but just the new. At the time, it was more important that they were one of the progressive bands rather than being one of the commercial pop groups. They were surprisingly unbluesy for the time. Charlie Whitney, the guitarist, seemed able to play in almost any style, but seemed not to be exceptional at blues rock solos, the one thing that made heroes of many of the lesser lead guitarists of the day. But he could do rockabilly, fingerpicking and slide guitar. Family were quite folky. They were a bit like Jethro Tull, a bit eclectic like Led Zeppelin 3. They occasionally used vibraphone, and they could sound a bit jazzy. The second CD in this set peaks with an epic song, which is probably now one of my favourite Family songs. It is called Top of the Hill. This is followed by a touch of gospel, then the horn-led funk of their danciest number, Sweet Desiree. Then we get a Kinks-style musical theatre number with honky-tonk piano called It's Only a Movie. They had a cool credibility, so I could well have bought a Family album back in the day. But I didn't, and neither did anyone else I knew, so I only heard what was on the radio. They had some success with a song called Burlesque, which was okay. Their final hit was an irresistible soft folky song called My Friend the Sun, which I really liked. I still find them interesting. I like this collection because after all this time they still sound strange. They're different and hard to categorise. I also have one of the albums they made before the material covered on this compilation. It contains a version of their first hit single, The Weaver's Answer, and I probably prefer that album to anything that's on this double CD. And at the end of the day, what I like about them remains in spite of Roger Chapman's singing rather than because of it. When Family split, Chapman and Whitney formed a band called Streetwalkers. I saw Chapman Whitney Streetwalkers at the Roundhouse. They played Burlesque, which was okay, but seeing them play My Friend the Sun was an event. Strange Band, The Best of Family.